Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Couples Third podcast. And if you're new here, you my darling, I'm most welcome. Welcome to Couples Third. Yay! It's good to have you here. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for returning. Thank you so much for showing me all the love in the past few days. I really, really appreciate. So today I have with me some amazing friends, and I'm really excited they are here. To my right, I have.
Hi guys, my name is Tyrone.
Hi guys, my name is Favor. It's good to be back here again.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about something that everybody I know has always wanted. We think about it since when we were young, probably like 17, always thinking, when am I going to leave my father's house? Oh, I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to grow up so that I can do this, so I can buy a car, so I can do this, I can be in my own space and everything. So today we're going to be talking about adulting, the good, the bad, the ugly, the challenges, everything about adulting. So I'm going to start with Taiwo. Taiwo, tell us like your experience of adulting since you grew up.
All right, thank you. So I don't know about you, but I don't think 70 was the number. I think that every one of us, we have every stage adulthood from like when we're probably 6, 7, 8 years. But that's what I think actually. I think that,
Yeah.
for example, I think I was seeing a video recently where one 6-year-old girl was Nigerian. You remember that video? Yeah.
I say
Exactly. So you could tell that, of course, you could tell that there's an influence, probably people around her and all that. But yeah, I think that every one of us, it's just that instinct by the virtue of the environment you've grown and your people around you basically that makes you anticipate adulthood.
Adulthood.
And so yeah, it starts from far down your age. Of course, when you get to your teen period into your early 20s, of course it becomes more real.
Crave it.
Exactly, you crave it. I think
Crave.
from like 16, you're already craving it. Puberty and all that. I think it's one of those things they taught us in biology, then or
Yeah.
science, how that you want to start, doing your own stuff. You probably getting equal to root and all that because you probably want to be your own person, like we call it. So yeah, and the moment you start having that freedom, of course it takes gradual process. So you go to school, 4 months, you're out of your parents' sides, you can do what you want. And for someone who, yeah, I just said like for 4 months, I mean semester,
Okay.
of course you go
Before you go.
yeah, for people that go on for break, right? And of course that like a gradually. And people that travel out of the country, for example, yeah, that's 4 years. And I think it's really very reflective of our society in the sense that so if you grew up in a home where you've been on market inside, so to speak, and
Yeah.
you would really crave it.
Yeah, you crave
You,
it a
you
lot.
crave that. I don't think that I think we enjoyed a level of leeway. My parents were a little strict. I won't say very strict. They're not very typical African parents, but they gave up some freedom. At least I had neighbors that I knew that they were strict, right? Of course, there were times where my parent, my dad particularly was not see us outside. For example, I mean back then it would be the street guys that would play football with telling us, tell you, are this coming. And so before the tell Kenny, they only call us our name. So before our dad card enters the compound, we already inside the house. So we greet him like,
Welcome.
yeah, well, of course, there've been times where there's been a court, right? He knows it's probably so outside already.
Yeah.
He was pretend.
Obviously, yeah.
Okay, so the point is that we craved it. I think that we enjoyed a bit of it to an extent, and at least relative to others. And so when we're out of our parents' side, it wasn't so much of a big deal, so to speak. So I think that it's really relative to if your family or more like the environment like you grew up in. If you enjoyed a level of it while you were young, you wouldn't so much crave it.
Crave it.
That's why I think you would crave it, but you wouldn't so much. I mean, I was still staying out to like 10 there about when I was young. You get
Wow.
because there were
Yeah, it can't be my. It can't be me.
exactly. Well, I think exactly. So I think my parents trusted me or trust me like that. I think that it was a good feeling knowing that okay, we wouldn't cause harm. I know the time someone was accusing me and my brother of something, and we're so sure that we're not the one that did it.
Wow.
And thankfully they found out stuff and it was not us. You get so that I think that's a level of trust. Of course,
Trust.
you'd be like they were like, if you're not outside, they wouldn't have accused you guys of this, but really they were sure that we didn't do that thing. I mean, because we made better stuff abilities to that. So why would we want to lose to it? That's something I think we enjoyed. I really like contributed to how we viewed growing up, I believe. Of course, once in a while you feel that freedom compared to when you were
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, but yeah, it becomes real as you get older. I mean, 20s and all that, start paying bills, then you know that I mean, that it's not so much.
It's not big. It's not
Yeah,
big.
really, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Well, I must say you are really lucky You're a lucky child.
I think
I
so
think
too.
I should shake you. I should shake you because wow, my it can't even be my parents.
Mm.
Even as I am right now, I will still have to get home by 9 latest, even 8. If I'm going to my father's house, I have to be there on time. I can't be 10.
I mean,
It's not possible.
did I think the fact that the gender thing here as well? I mean, yeah. But personally, I even for my sister, I don't want to stay. It's just normal. Okay, so I think that there's also a part of that.
I
Too. Yes.
well, I think there's a gender thing, and also I also strongly believe that the parent factor. Oh my god! But let's not dwell into that. Let me ask favor.
Okay, so contrary to Taiwo, the experience was a different one for me. So growing up, okay, let me start from the last part. Growing up, nah, I can't get home late. In fact, 7 o'clock already inside. Nothing later than 7 o'clock already inside. so, so yeah, I think the gender thing is actually something very common, and it's a very, yeah, very common factor where they allow the male child to do what they want, but the female child, they're always looking out for them like, no, you have to do this, you have to come in early. So that was it growing up for me. So I can say it was after school, not even in school, because okay, so when I went to uni, I still stayed with family. So I didn't even stay, I wouldn't stay out late. I think maybe if I stay out late, maybe something happened that I didn't get in early. But once it's 6 o'clock, I'm already leaving school. I'm done with classes. So what else? I'm not going anywhere. I'm going home. So it was like that until maybe when I started working. Then the next time, maybe when I close late from work, I can get home late. They understand that okay, she's coming from work. So that's basically been it. Okay, so my experience with adulting is not easy. Oh. They did not tell us this one. They did not tell us about this.
About that, right? So there was something like I was saying to someone one time. When I say one time, I can't remember what time, but yeah, it was around where you just said how that why we don't complain and why did the generation very this, like I'll comment for all of us this time. All right, because why we don't want to talk about adulthood, I mean, you go on Twitter, you see someone or one person or more talking about adulthood and all that. I feel like our parents really did. You just tell us more how that our parents really did a good job. The fact we weren't even earning as much as we was even earning. I'm not having any big money, by the way. So those two, like, exactly. I mean, they took a lot of things that we are not even taking up of. We are already complaining. Nobody told about adulthood. Like, why are we doing that? I'm like,
Do you know? I feel like they actually went through that stage too, but because we have social media now, we can post everything. That's the reason why it's everywhere. But I feel like they must have had that moment that they're like, oh no, this thing is not really easy.
fair enough, actually, fair enough. Because someone said that same thing. I mean, this was the exact same reference for that person. Social media. So maybe we can, leave it at that. Social media, it's
Yeah, I would totally agree when you say that. I remember my time. I was always looking forward to after secondary school. Oh, I want to get into the uni. I want to leave home. I want to do everything. And funny thing is, I went to a boarding school, and my boarding school was like 3 hours. So I was not always seeing my parents. When I was in secondary school, I I probably just saw my parents just like once every term, no, term every term. So it was just like once. So I wasn't always seeing them. I had like that freedom. Well, not freedom because it was a boarding school, but at least I was not seeing my parents. I was alone with my friends and everything. So my unit too, it was like 3 hours away. I wasn't seeing my parents. So it was that freedom was like supposedly supposed to be there. But it wasn't. Because after uni now, I I come home and then we start the life after uni. Like we start after uni things, and it is not. It is
not for the weak. But
actually it's not for the. We need you need to. Ah God, I don't know what advice I want to give you, but if you are still living with your parents,
don't leave. Don't leave.
shout out to you.
Don't leave.
Shout out.
Just stay there for now.
Shout out to you. Okay, so let me ask a question here that says, okay, so let me just start like this. What advice do you have for those who are entering adulthood and maybe feeling overwhelmed by the challenges? What challenges, before we give advice, what challenges have you faced? Let's start from there. Let me start with Favor.
Okay, so challenges. I'd say sometimes we want to get pressurized when we see maybe our mates, our friends, probably have achieved certain um
Milestones.
yeah milestones, and then you are just there and you're like, what am I doing with my life? Like, when is my life going to start? So I think that's one of the challenges we actually face. We see what other people do, and then we use that to measure our success. We use that to measure the level we have come to, and I think it's not something we should actually do, because at that point you might want to do something you're not supposed to do just to attain that level to what's other challenge what other
Yeah.
challenges do we
So I think
face?
just to add to what Favor I said, I think it's basically peer pressure, right? And I think there's an internal part of it and external part. So the internal part is what that you put on yourself. Nobody has spoken anything to you. You just feel the need to. I won't use the word do better, because it's not really about do better. If you do better, there are ways to do better, and you can't skip it. It's a process. You have to do the work. There's a life process, systematic things, right? So that is the internal part of things. External, it's influence. Yeah, your friends. You have bad influence. To be honest, yeah, that's like probably what it is. I thought it might be good influence, but it might be good. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So yeah, so I think that's the way I traced it. It could be good influence, right? However, do you have chosen to take it? So for example, now you have a friend that has gone further in quotes, in life, probably has achieved certain milestones, like you were saying earlier. Basically, done stuff. Maybe it could be that you also want an MSc, another person is an MSc or an MBA, or has gotten that 6-figure job, or maybe 7-figure job now, because that is like the goal now. 7-figure, and you are still probably struggling to even probably get a steady income, right? And so definitely it puts some pressure on you somehow, and that's fine, really. It's just how you react to it that really really matters. So are you going to handle it right, or you're going to take it the wrong way? Because for some people, we just really breed jealousy, envy, and makes them just at what's the word now? This fighting now. They are support threats where you're supposed to actually exactly spite, right? And that's how threats become enemies, because of someone is not just somebody else's progress. But however, you know, on the other hand, you could actually take that as a cue to, meet that, do better, do better, meet that person, probably ask for advice. I don't think that you lose anything if you ask for advice, because you feel like it's your friend, or you think that, the people that you were leading in primary school or secondary school, that you were probably I beg,
Yeah, I
too
think
many stories of that.
that okay. So for instance, someone that probably was top of the class, you now see someone that probably used to be like the last of the class now doing much more better than you. Some people might have some sort of should I say
Ego.
inferiority complex. Like, would I go and meet this person knowing that I used to be better than this person?
Like, let's not use that example, right? Let's probably use the example that he said about you guys being friends. And, some people find it very difficult to go and ask their friends for, like, okay, how are you doing this day? Let me help me, like, advise me in that sense. But why is it that we cannot go and ask our friends? Like, some people cannot ask your friend, okay, I see that you're doing well in this certain area. How can you help me? How can you assist me? Tell me what I can do better. Why is this so difficult? This is at that side. Oh,
Okay. I think that for this, the dynamics are not absolute. So here's what I mean. I mean that we can't say you want one answer to that. So this is what I mean. For some people, the they probably seen that friend to be someone that, okay, I'll give an example to that it's clearer. So I know someone that, she had told me that she wasn't reaching out to a particular friend that traveled abroad, because she felt like just a few highs and hellos to her, and she was not really giving the vibe that she needed. And she was looking for help to also travel abroad. And I've heard the testimony from different people. I mean, the first in my head, it was like, okay, people do this. Then I'm over the years, I've seen a lot of it. I've seen how people react to it, asking them for help. And what I learned is that people don't like to. So someone gave a good reason. Someone said, this school can be so crazy. I have a friend that just left, and it's only few weeks. And I mean, I know how busy that she's gotten over the weeks, right? And on the other hand, I mean, some people are just really, what's the word? Maybe selfish.
you want to audit
Maybe not selfish.
all the information.
Yeah, it could just be. maybe that's because from what I've learned, I'm not thinking logical,
Reason behind
I'm not
doing
seeing it
that.
yet. I'm not seeing it yet, but it just feels, a little strange and weird as to why that happening. Maybe it's on myth or superstitious belief around things like that. The way we will not want to tell someone you're traveling out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Or to
that,
get there.
things like that. I don't know, maybe it's connected. I really don't understand why. I feel like maybe that's why. So some people are sort of they hold back as to reaching out to that person.
Mhm.
There are times when it's probably not up to that person alone. So for example, what you were saying about reaching out to that friend, how did you do this and all that? Maybe the person that already perceives that person to be, it could be an internal thing, it could be just overthinking things. Maybe the person is not even all that.
Yeah. So you
Maybe
just
not be all that.
Mhm.
So I think there's also that, right? Then when you're speaking to something yeah, that was
influence.
yeah, the school part you mentioned,
Okay.
I think we should not be. I think you should look at it actually. You know why?
Okay.
When I got into degree, I used to like go to secondary school. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I finished best in primary school, finished best in secondary school, even though it was not I made the result past it, but at least it was the best. That's like a point. After that put out, but yeah, when I got into degree, I saw a lot of good guys. I felt like I don't know though.
Right.
Well, not I was not proud, but it took me a while to really adjust to the fact that almost you still have to meet people. But I was not into meeting people, all people are. Certainly, you have to meet people that were clearly better at least in that regard. Yes, and so I feel like it's mostly dealing with it internally first before you now make that progress that you need to make. I think there's also that factor. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. So I want to say like our major challenge, like we can all agree, is the influence, social media, what we can see. I was even saying recently, I can't remember where, but when I see my juniors in like secondary school and how they are now, I'm like, I used to have that feeling. What are you doing? What? And I'm like, what am I not doing? And I would just start to think, I'm like, hey, what's happening? What can I do better? And then there's a lot of pressure, even internally, even before anything. When I just see that picture or something, I'm just like, Flasher, what are you not doing? You need to think about your life. you start to think, and maybe that way, that think that way is not like that.
No. I think that for what you have said, I just think that there are factors that we just deliberately overlook.
Mm.
And that's how we just put pressure on ourselves. For example, you need to know the factors that surround that person. Are you dealing with the same factors? And then people that are the best.
That I feel like that's you dipping it. Don't dip it yet. let's talk about the surface. When we see, I'm like,
It's fine. So I feel like, and it's also a function of maturity, so to speak, experience. So because you said before, maybe it's second time in office.
Yeah.
Of course, for someone with like
For like first time, you
yeah,
think about it.
yeah, you think about
You think definitely. Then
I'll find it out.
you sit there in your room and think and be like, yeah. Okay, so the next question here is: have you ever experienced a grown-up moment that turned into a humorous or enjoyable memory? Okay, so I was actually reading this question. And I was thinking about it. Have I ever experienced that grown-up moment? I've grown. I'm saying
That's like actually that when up women that is exciting,
like that
somewhere else.
No. That later you were experiencing the it was really tough for you, and then later on when you think about it, you're like, and I overcame.
So I thought even when I was reading this question, right, I was not so sure, but I didn't. I wasn't sure it was something that's supposed to be dramatic, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, I'm just going to point to something that comes to mind right now. So when I was done with school, actually, when I was done with school, I was thinking about how my life will go. After I got my first lad boy. Okay, so I was like,
Tell your best in secondary school, best in primary school.
this is the point. What was the plan? Well, yeah, I mean, it was really an interesting period. I mean, I think I did the 5-year course, and from year 3, I was really thinking about how that I'm not telling my roommate then I'm not going to go home after school. It's a given. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but I just knew, right? So I was not really like, when I was in year 2, year 3, I felt that I was not interested in school. Not because I thought I was doing bad. I think I did fair enough, right? But I just felt like, there was more, and it felt like the Nigerian school system didn't cover it. So even when I thought of like, say switching departments, for example, I was not seeing that option to pick from. So I was like, what's the point? Let me just finish this course then. You get so exactly let me just finish it. So it was a case of just get the BSc. And that's like the way I talk to young kids now, even my brother, when I was telling him about it, just get the BSc.
Mentor.
Like, I mean, because I wake up one day was saying, we want to go there. About actual school first. He said, I want to go there. I'm like, she has to go to school first. I'm not saying you have to go to school because you must do what you did in school. I might do what I did in school, apart from it. But I'm just trying to say that at this point, in the country where we actually favor you at least on a BSc, it still won't favor you by default. So I didn't have that BSc stress. So that was like the mindset I walked through. I was like, okay, let me just finish this thing here. But yeah, from the S3, I idea the plan I was going to like stay back in school then, after school. And already that was my growing up moment. I'm not going to lie. Because already I didn't like going home. So it was a case of how can I figure out how to stop going home eventually. That guys won't be last by year 5, I must stop going home. Which I did. Actually. I did. I don't know how it was gonna happen at the time I thought about
I actually envy you, like, because how would you just say you are not going home and you will not go home?
so
I laugh.
it was born from a place of
Even if you was born from anywhere, anywhere, you still find yourself.
Different. When you go home, there is shortening that you're going to come back with stuff.
It's not even about going home for your personal benefits, right? Going home, for me, I would have loved not to go home, right? But then I did not have a choice. I have to go home. Like, they will call you home. Like, there's no point saying that you want. Are you not coming home? Come home.
So
They will even give you deadline.
it was very 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 strategic. Allow me to use that word. So if we had, I know when it's school, most of us I think, and we really had like short breaks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I would plan it. I'll stay a week in school or 2 weeks in school, go go back home like for a week, then come back, or I'll go home for 1 week within those 3 weeks. So I'll stay 1 week in school, go back home. Somebody saying go back home, go home the second week, come back home, come back to school. Sorry, you have to repeat that.
No.
All right. So basically it was just like very short, but I did like staying home for long. I don't know if really staying at home. I think that was like it for me. I felt more productive in school. So even though I don't know,
Me, if I always wanted to stay in school, right, I would actually have to find a way to just say that maybe we've not vacated, or we've not closed at that time. And we've closed though. We have actually closed, but I'll just have to say that, okay, we've not vacated or something. That's the only way I can. Once they know, like, as in, the
like
next
doing now something like
2 days later, which kids? Which kids?
I mean, it feels like I'm not very fun per se. I mean, I was like, going.
I wasn't.
No.
We're
I
on.
was Gary.
We're on.
I was a Gary boy. So no, I was my best life in school. I just was using those periods to really like buy it and sorry. Like it was those period of like I need to figure out this thing. So and I think I was really under pressure at some point. My self pressure. I need to like get this thing right before school. I'm not doing this course. I'm not practicing it. So I need to figure out what to do. But I think what really was the highlight for me was when I went for IT. Yeah, for I always say this actually. I think really helped me. I went for IT and I worked with marketing at that time. I was in packaging and development and product development and all that. We are working very closely with marketing. So I worked like 5 to 6 months, I guess, and it helped me put some direction to what I would like to do after school. Basically, and that's like what I think I'm doing right now. Yeah, and I feel like it helped.
Oh, for me, somehow the story was different. So, like, I always had this, should I say, mentality that when you go to school, automatically when you come out of school, you get a job in the line of what you did. Everything just keep going smooth like that. But when it actually dawned on me was after school.
Yeah.
I wish I had some sort of orientation before I finished school that it doesn't work that way. So I would have done other things that would have, really helped me, helped my career path.
Yeah.
So it was, just I was saying, it was after school that it really dawned on me that things didn't work out that way. So in fact, like right now, I'm not in the line of the school. I mean, the course I actually did in school, everything is now different. So I had to take my time to just put myself together and like, what exactly do you even want to do? What do you really want to do? Then took a step at a time to just go for it. and I think I'm coming out of it gradually. I can't say I'm out of it totally, but I don't.
Yeah, I actually feel this conversation is like all over the place. Are we really talking about adulting? I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. But okay, let's go on. So the next question I have here. So what are like the fun things you do when you feel like, okay, this thing is really challenging, and what can I do? What keeps you calm? What do you do that keeps you sane? Yeah, exactly. What is that thing that you do that you enjoy, that even if you don't enjoy it adults, that some things that you enjoy doing while living the adult life? That's the way.
Okay, so I think that is a very environment, not absolutely, but I think that's very environment
Conscious.
yeah, specific as well. Because I mean, back in school, the default response to challenges would be to react. I think you need to react in some other way, whichever way that's way. Some people will cry, some people will just do different things. But I think that earlier, a few years back, when I was still in school, how I would always like attend to those things with me. So I like to work a lot, and I think the kind of school we all went to, I think, sort of enable that.
You, what school did you go to? Sorry, because it's referring to us too much. Lagos State in.
Okay, I thought you were to. Okay, all right. So then, I used to undo those things back in school. Early 20s, I'm not a Gen Z, but early 20s used to be so. He used to like take a walk. I used to help a lot. Long walks were very like my go-to activities at the time. But now in Lagos, so and no place to walk to. So I mean, I feel like it's not easy being an adult in Lagos to start with. Let's hold that down first, constant. So I think that other things that would ideally, be nice for you to do are expensive. So there's also that part already. So now I'm not like put out all the I mean, it's not if I find out that's very manageable or fair activity that you can that you have control over, that you can do, right? So I think that for me, it's mostly music at this time. I don't pay money for music, just data.
Yeah.
Enough said.
Well, it's actually true. To really have fun or enjoy yourself in Lagos, in Lagos is no joke. It's actually no joke. If you were in like other states, like Osun State
But
or Ibadan or your state, but there's nothing to do there. But at least the little, it will be less expensive than it is in Lagos. So, Faye, what do you do?
Okay, so I would say, yeah, music does it for me too. Music does it for me actually. And whenever I feel like stressed out, most times I really do not want to talk to anybody. So I lock up myself in my room, turn on music, or plug it into my ears because it needs to be very loud. But let me just forget everything,
yeah,
not think about it at that moment. So that's one of the ways I get to handle stress. Um, Another way, sometimes, yeah, I want to be around my friends, just talk, gist, play. So I have friends I do that with. I can just call them on the phone, even if I can't go out of the house to meet them, just talk, at that moment, get to leave whatever is stressing me. And then,
Thinking about this question like comes to mind often when we talk about adulting. When we talk about adulting, right, we think about the wild stuff. Think about, oh, um, I can drink, I can smoke, I can do anything, like the wild stuff. If you know, like any wild thing that comes to mind. So you think about that and you think about adulting. And then there are some people that, in quotes, don't do this wild stuff, and then they are termed as uncool, or they are not fun people as they were. That's the attitude. Did you see my attitude? That's the attitude. That's the attitude. So what do you think about that opinion? Because I know it's a very popular opinion. Do you agree with it? Do you think that for you, like to show that you're an adult, you have to be wild, you have to be here, there, everywhere all together? Then you have to you want also you want no more.
so
So do you think that is your opinion?
for me, it's not. I don't resonate with that. You don't have to be everywhere before you are.
I know. Okay, let me take it back. not everywhere. Okay, let's focus on the drinking, the smoking. You know, when you tell people that you don't drink, you don't smoke, you don't do this, you don't womanize, that's a joke. But when you tell people that, they tend to look at you somehow, daddy's boy, daddy's girl, or something like that. And they can begin to even sideline you from certain things that they are doing. And they'll be like, no, that's the term pastor, something about church girl, or something like that. So begins to pop up, oh, she's a church girl, she's a she's a this, that comes up. So what's
So yes, that happens. Actually, it happens. I get it a lot of times because I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any of those things. I don't club, I don't, I don't do wild things. So yeah, when maybe someone tries to like stretch out that same gesture to me, like, oh, let's go, and I'm like, no, sorry, I don't. They're like, I'd say, are you a mommy's girl? Are you this? I'm like, does that mean I'm a mommy's girl? Like, because I don't do this thing, does that mean that I mean, even one like sort of happened recently, and so the whole conversation just came up, and then I was like, no, I'm not interested. I'm not going. And then somebody from nowhere just came and was like, are you a mommy's girl? I'm a mommy. Do you know till now? He was still calls me a mommy. Like, so I think yeah, that is actually there. It happens a lot of times, but I don't allow that to change my person. I don't allow that to. I still do what makes me happy. If what you're doing that makes you happy is not going to make me happy, I won't do it. Yeah. So I do what makes me happy, and everybody's fine.
Yeah, I think it's more of a value system thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's the value system of the world, right?
normal?
That's like, oh my, yeah. I mean, just like what you said, I mean, I think I was working somewhere 2 years ago and I have something very, like, these are certainly very hilarious because they saw me alongside, they were like, you don't drink, you don't womanize, you got your class. I said, no, what are you doing?
By question.
This was my best. So, like, the founders of the company, they literally asked me that because, I mean, then we saw like on Friday, they like buy stuff. I don't do free PR. I don't know the drink this is by then. Popular drink anyway.
Let me do free PR.
Well, yeah, we do like some drinks anyway. We always buy it on Friday and we'll be drinking and like tell them about drink. And they'll tell you that, oh, one day I'll make sure you drink this. You will drink it. Don't worry, next week we're going to the club. Yeah, they definitely want to like.
Yeah, once
bring
you
you
bring you in, yeah, definitely.
Like I said, it's a value system thing. I think that what really influences your own reaction or reaction to things like that is really how much you're at peace with yourself. See, it's a self-esteem issue eventually.
Yeah.
If you have high self-esteem to an extent, or I would say high, but at least your self-esteem is not at a low, moderate, because it's that there are things that will come at you that you question. You question yourself. You get. So I was like picking what is self-esteem. I will say self-esteem. I'll know the high because it's very deliberate. Why? Because I think that will happen. You don't know how much of a really all there you are until you see some things you get. So yeah, you want to just be careful about things like that. But I think that yes, if you've been able to like build a good self-esteem over the years based on experience, I think upbringing also matters. If you've been talking a home that moral upbringing and all that, for example, being content, all those stuff. These are things that really influence adulthood. We are being honest, and I think we owe our parents those things to be very fair. Yeah.
So what they've taught you from
Yeah.
your
Mistake, mistake, yeah.
even till
Mm-hmm.
you are old and great. Yeah, that's actually true. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so the final question is any advice to that 17-year-old that might be listening to this podcast. He was just drop one advice. Just give us something.
So first thing, should I tell be true? How does sound like a Shakespeare? But really, yeah, be true to yourself. Like, take your time. Nobody they rush you. Nobody they rush you. I feel like, in the truth, nobody's rushing you. Take your time, run your own race, way to improve. So don't say because you don't want to be under pressure, you don't have to do what you need to do. The fact that you are supposed to not be under pressure doesn't invalidate your own part of things. You need to work hard. You need to do the job. You need to like make the connections you need to make progress. You can't do like alone eventually. So you need that you still need people. However, you must be at peace internally. That's why I said to yourself be true. All those things help you to live a very balanced life, as it were, regardless of environment and things around you. Yeah, that's what I would say. That's 70-year-old boy. Hope you're listening.
Hope you're listening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we do.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. See, like,
Okay, so to that one out there watching, so yeah, the take your time thing can never be overemphasized. Like,
yeah,
take your time, take your time. See, all those things you think you want to enjoy, you're going to enjoy it, and you even get tired of it at the end of the day.
I like enjoyment too.
So,
I don't get tired of enjoyment.
like, you will enjoy to the fullest. You will
Yeah, of
enjoy,
course.
and then
But
there'll be no more enjoyment. So you just keep
yeah,
doing
of
the same
course,
thing.
yeah. But if you walk,
So yeah,
walk.
take your time, take your time. Putting your best into whatever you are doing. Um, and let things just go at its pace.
Yeah, for me, I'll just say take your time. If you are still at your parents' house, stay there, live there. Enjoy it. Eat your mother's food.
Like,
Man, man,
Eat it.
you don't have much food.
You'll be hungry. You're gonna be hungry. But yeah, everything that you said is very valid, very true. And yeah, we've come to the end of this video. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you guys. We love you. Bye.
Right.